Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, JC Botero67, aka Vanity Pride. My most sincerest apologies for this late video. It's been a crazy week so far. It's not going to calm down anymore going into the weekend, but I am here and we're going to do this. So, of course, we're taking a look at Tower of God, episode 289 of season 2. So this is going to be more of a live read. I haven't had a chance to read this yet, so just a heads up. So, alright. I'm assuming Moschini is yelling out, "Let's go." She's running off with Boro and Sachi and them, while Marco Asensio is going to handle this monstrous big breeder. And speaking of that monstrous big breeder, he asks, "What's this? They've replaced her with a small fry?" So this is basically a recap. He glares, Marco Asensio glares, "I guess you'll die here today." Okay, so, Stone General, sworn enemies, go after the ones who ran away, is, Big Breeder, he's given that order, but I don't want to. It kind of seems like Viola's thinking that, and someone's calling out to him like, "Hey, come on, man." So I'm hoping, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm hoping that Viola, like, this sworn enemy, Viola, kind of turns around and actually does some good. I mean, Baam is a naturally good person, so him fearing himself is kind of weird, I guess. Going way back into the whole him meeting his sworn enemy for the first time. I guess his fear would be, like, becoming a corrupt man, like Zahard and countless others, I guess. But, yeah. Now that I think about it, like, I'm wondering if Viol does have a good side to him, and if that will kind of shine through at some point. So, that would be cool. Anyway, there's a swoosh here. Okay, so basically, Marco Asensio and BB2, I think this would be BB2, right? Yeah. They're battling it out right now. And Marco Asensio is like, "Hey, keep your eyes on the battle. Here, you can neither manipulate this world as you wish, nor can you borrow Lord Zahard's power. What gave you the confidence to come here?" And then the big breeder responds, "Ha, I'm more than capable of taking out a small fry like you without any of that. Watch this." Crack. Crunch. This is the power of my clone. Okay, so this is all big breeder still. And damn, he turns into, like, this friggin', I don't even know how to explain him. He kind of reminds me of something. Maybe Beast from Beauty and the Beast, but there's, like, someone else he reminds me of. Anyway, Marco Asensio responds, "I was expecting something impressive, but you've just gotten a bit uglier." That's really funny. And then Big Breeder's like, "I'll make you regret saying that soon. I'll fight you with that spear that you're so confident in." So he's kind of running toward him, unleashes something from his own spear. It's a pretty powerful attack, and luckily Marco Asensio evades it. Dang, he just cracked a hole in, like, I'm guessing they were kind of, like, in a canyon, so he kind of broke a hole through one of the walls there. It's really wild. And, of course, Marco Asensio thinks that spear seems to be ridiculously powerful. No shit. Friggin' Big Breeder releases a roar. He's striking at Marco Asensio again with that big power, and Marco Asensio is blocking it here. Struggling, it seems. "Well, I'm way stronger than your spear, aren't I? I became a big breeder because I couldn't stand the sight of those spears of yours." Marco Asensio looks upset. Maybe he's confused on what big breeder means. Big breeder continues on to say, "I've been waiting for you to act first for ages. Now that day has finally come." The attacks just look crazy and, like, multiplicated here. "This spearmanship, it seems to resemble our family spearmanship." So this is Marco Asensio speaking. Alright, and now we come to a scene here with a villain and flying monster needles. Okay, so now we're with Moschini and group. Obviously the sworn enemies went after her, as well as the Stone General. And so they're all, like, teaming up together here, blocking off these attacks. Sachi says, "They keep changing their trajectory. Let's be more careful." And then Boro's like, "Haha, it's a weapon. Almost invincible against weapons." And then some weird-looking, like, shadowy thing is happening here. Oh yeah, because something just fell. Champion villain, Monster Lord Needles. Okay, so that's the guy who was initiating the attack at the beginning of this scene. Moss Ginny says, I'm going to take them out, so just hang in there. Okay, he's sure excited. So the okay was Boro, and sure enough, Sachi was the one who was thinking he's sure excited. Stone General shows up above the group. Someone yells out, watch out. Okay, and now it looks like we're back to Marco Asensio and Big Breeder 2. Big Breeder 2 says, what are you doing? Are you just running away because you're scared of my spears? It's not so much that I ran away, rather I'm just watching. That's Marco. And then Big Breeder's offended. He's like, what? And Marco says, it's amateurish, but something about the way that you handle those spears reminds me of our family. And Big Breeder seems kind of shocked to hear that. So then Marco Asensio's like, let me show you something of my own. Cracking a spear, it seems. So we'll see what he's about to do. Looks like it's charging it up, obviously. Electrical, it had to be. You had better focus, that's Marco Asensio, because this spear is so fast that it's hard to track it with naked eyes. What? Says Big Breeder 2. I feel like he's holding like a double-sided lightsaber. It's pretty cool. Alright, so now we're back with, oh, wait, no, that's Kaseya. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're back with Kaseya and Viol. And Kaseya says, it felt like I've known him from somewhere since he seemed familiar, and that's Asensio. Viol's like, okay, confused, whatever. Kaseya goes on to say, he became a high ranker on the outside and formed his own faction within the family. He's famous for using a spear like a flying fish. It's known as the flying fish spear skill. Even for a big breeder, it would be dangerous to face him here. And then the big breeder's like, do you think I'm scared because you wave that little toy around? I'll stab you to death. So he's charging for him again. Of course, Marco Asensio says, ride the Shinzu and fly fish. Ooh. So it kind of seems like the tips of the spears, because it's double-sided, right? Like I said. It seems like they kind of unlatch from the staff, and like they're aiming an attack at him. And it looks like there's like multiple of those. It's very interesting. Yeah, there's like multiple you can see here. It's super cool. I love this kid. He's so awesome. Alright, so Big Breeder's like, what's going on? I'm sure there were only 2 of them. Yep. But why does it seem like there are hundreds of them flying at me? Maybe it's kind of like a delusion kind of a thing, you know, or like an illusion. I don't even know what I'm saying, guys. But like, you know, how it's like you see more than one thing, but it's really, there's like a primary thing. I guess kind of like the crown game, if you think back to that, how Koon duplicated, well, more than duplicated, because I think there were like 5 crowns or something. But yeah. Just the act of like duplicating things to throw people off, so then they're not sure which one's like the actual thing. So anyway, here has the title, Asensio's Flying Fish Spear Skill. Big Breeder's crying out. And then Marco Asensio does this thing called an Aqua Slash. And then still grunting in pain is Big Breeder 2. Marco Asensio is just pretty chill there, like, yeah. Alright, did you learn your spearmanship from the Koon family? He asks of the Big Breeder. The way you handle spears seems like a clumsy imitation of our family. Big Breeder's still grunting. And then he says, that's right, I did learn from them once. Then why do you look like that? Asks Marco Asensio. And then Big Breeder says, nothing's different even if I don't look like this. In the eyes of you people from the 10 families, anyone who isn't from your pure bloodline is a hideous monster anyway, isn't it? We seem to have gotten sidetracked. I'm not going to fight you with spears anymore. I'm going to use every ounce of energy that this body has to kill you. I think Big Breeder 2, because this doesn't look like Marco Asensio's face, I think that might be Big Breeder 2's actual appearance. I mean, they can change appearance, or at least they can take on different bodies, as we saw with Big Breeder 3 a few chapters back. You know, took on the body of Uraha's twin brother. So maybe that's what Big Breeder 2 here is doing, and he's actually part of the Koon family. What's cool is that the eyes and the hair are purple as opposed to blue. So that's interesting. I find it appealing because purple's my favorite color, but you know, and maybe because they mentioned like a faction, or Kaseya mentioned a faction on behalf of Marco Asensio. So maybe this dude is part of a Koon family faction too, you know? Maybe. Anyway. Oh, okay, Mastini comes back, because she's like, Asensio. And Asensio, of course, is like, sis, what happened to the quest? We beat it. She just says it matter-of-factly as beautiful. What about the huge rock? We smashed that too. What have we been doing? She really is an older sister, not a little kid. Anyone stronger than me is an older sister. I love these guys. They're so great. That's my sis. A cockroach like me could never keep up with your skills. He bows. And Mastini is like, stop it, you're embarrassing me. And Mastini happens to glance over to the big breeder, and she's like, what's this? You still haven't finished him off? Don't be so weak. Okay, so she's about to put in an attack on him. Damn. She may have just sliced, like, right through him, because that's just a lot. Yeah, she just friggin' pierced a friggin' hole in his abdomen there. What just happened? He asks, and then... Ooh, okay, there was, like, a red ball above him that's cracking. So maybe it just kind of symbolizes his death. Man, wasted so much time on a nobody like him. Okay, so that was obviously Mastini, and she says, Icardi will join us too in the next stage. Let's hurry. Okay, says Marco. And now we are back to Zahard, young Zahard. I don't know why I was going to say Wang Nan, because he looks so much like him. Anyway, it seems that Zahard asks, what is it? And then the person on the other line says, Lord Zahard, Jayok's clone appears to have been destroyed. Okay, so it's a clone of the big breeder. After disobeying my orders and hiding out there, he seems to have acted impulsively by himself and been beaten as soon as they made a move. Shall we go after them right now? And then Zahard's like kind of deep in thought for a minute, and then he's like, forget about it. They will end up passing through this place soon anyway. All right, and that's where we leave off. So really interesting chapter because we didn't get to see anything of, or any traces of Baam and co. Obviously not Rachel just yet. Beta is still to be seen. Actually, I do want to credit someone for pointing out a very interesting fact. Okay, yes, so it is, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but Radhi, or maybe it's Radi Hussein, they pointed out that the little chicken is the third being in Koon's lighthouse. So aside from me saying Anandrasi, it would be the little chicken. So I had totally forgotten about that. So thank you, Radhi, for that information. Or Radhi. Again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I just wanted to give a quick shout out and a quick thank you again for that bit of info. But yeah, so very cool chapter, just to sum this up. Very cool to see Mastini's strength, as usual, and then frickin' Marco Asensio. I thought that was really cool to see that technique of his, and also to learn that he kind of defecated from the main Koon family, kind of started his own. So I think it would be really cool to actually see the real him once they get out of this hidden floor, and, you know, maybe sometime down the road, maybe season 3, I don't know. SIU just, you know, has his plan, and we just follow along for the ride, I guess. And, oh yeah, Big Breeder 2, I thought it was interesting. Obviously, Marco Asensio kept hinting at the fact, like, oh, you know, like, my family's skill, like, you know, you were trained with this, like, when, how, and so it kind of seems like this person may be part of the Koon family. So obviously this big breeder isn't dead yet, because that was just the clone that got killed off. So hopefully we will get more of that backstory with the actual big breeder. But that will be seen whenever that happens. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning again. Thank you guys for tuning in again, and sorry again for the lateness of this video. I may be taking a break next week because I have one final one-shot to write, and I was hoping to plan it next, post it. Ugh, can't even talk. I was hoping to post it next Wednesday, and so I really want to give myself time to write and put good quality into it. So obviously the 4th one's coming out this Saturday. Gives me very limited amount of time to work on it and get it released on time. If I decide to, you know, post it like next Saturday, then, you know, that's fine, and I will probably do one of these videos. But if not, it'll be a twofer in 2 weeks. So just a heads up. All right, anyway, thank you guys so much. See you next time. Peace.